Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome. This is Somaliland National Television and you watch the English news program with me, Mohammed Jibril. Here the stories making local headlines. First Lady of Somaliland attends a meeting to discuss education in Salahle district. Minister of Finance held a press conference at his office. Unable to inform father on missing flight MH370. First Lady of Somaliland, Amina Mohamed Chirde, Minister of Education and Higher Studies and other keynote officials of Somaliland's government attended a meeting discussing the educational progress of Salahle district, organized by the residents of that district. The event also had in attendees Minister of State for the Presidential, parliamentarians, cultural leaders, intellectuals of that district. The first speaker at the event was chairman of the committee responsible for renovating the road linking Hargeisa with Salahle, Ali Ibrahim Mohammed, and briefed the attendees about the educational progress of the district. Amina Hashi Gulait, one of the main individuals responsible of organizing this event, took to the podium and expressed her gratefulness for the assistance provided by the government of Somaliland, whether in improving the educational sectors, health sectors, or any other crucial sectors in that district. Somaliland Minister of Education and Higher Studies, Samsa Abdel Aden, on her turn elaborated on what made the government's effort much easier, which is the collaboration expressed by the residents of that district, and clarified that the government of Somaliland pledged to provide further assistance where needed. The First Lady of Somaliland concluded the event by expressing her appreciation for this invitation and spoke briefly about the significance of cooperation between the government and its people, and that every nation succeeds to develop the moment the government and the citizens put their hands together and march toward their goals. The Minister of Finance, Abdulaziz Samale, on a press conference held at his office, provided a brief report to the media about the progress made and obstacles faced during his time in office.
Somaliland Minister of Finance, Abdulaziz Mohammed Samale, also stated that the government's budget has risen into an impressive level. The minister mentioned that most of the projects that was in the working plan for the year 2013 were completed. The minister conclusively repudiated allegations recently released about a conflict between the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Somaliland. And he elaborated on the nature of work for both institutions, stating that they both serve the nation and there is no encountering such conflicts between us, because they have a mutual duty towards the countries that they need to focus on. We complete our work as a team, and that is the bottom line, said the minister.
The mayor of the capital city of Somaliland, Hargeisa, Abdurrahman Solteko, accompanied by the Director General of the Ministry of Resettlement, the UND Habitat officials, laid a foundation stone for the construction of a new residential compound for the families already residing in the Hargeisa Water Storage Center.
This land is on the southern side of Hargeisa and is currently occupied by families residing there. Abdurrahman Mohammed Aidid, mayor of the capital city, Hargeisa, speaking to the media, stated that the new center for those residents is a part of the public property of Somaliland, and the government's responsibility is to give back this property to the citizens that need the most. The construction fund of this new center is sponsored by the government of Japan through the central government to the local government of the capital city. Director of Hargeisa Water Agency, Ibrahim Siad Younis, also expressed his appreciation to his initiative made by the Ministry of Resettlement and explained the great service that Hargeisa local government is processing. Director General for Somaliland's Ministry of Resettlement, Mahmoud Jibril, also spoke at the event and thanked the government of Japan for their cooperative role toward the development and progress of Somaliland. Mahmoud Jibril also pointed out the corporate needs of these residents and the great developmental progress that Hargeisa local government accomplished. The UN Habitat officials announced that this building will be complete within a year from now.
The mayors of Lasqore and Baran, speaking to our reporters, elaborated further on the general condition of both cities and the rest of the eastern regions of Somaliland.
Mayor of Baran district, speaking on the opening developmental project at that district, ensured these projects are receiving the necessary support and assistance when needed, and stated that the government pledged on taking these projects further. On the other hand, Mayor of Lasqore, Mahmoud Ahmed Ashur, spoke at assured the area is safe again after attempts of maintaining stability, and continued to state that the commercial movement has risen back into an impressive level. He also stated that the residents of these regions started to embark efforts toward this implementing projects designed to be benefit from the resources of the country, especially fisheries and water resources. Both mayors collectively responded to recent allegations made by the member of the House of Representatives Ali Barre and repudiated all the claims, and continued with a congratulatory message to the President of Somaliland and his successful tour around the regions of Somaliland. They eventually praised the efforts made by the Minister of Defense for Somaliland, Ahmed Ali Haji Adami, and his force to maintain stability and peaceful progress of the eastern regions.
The Director General of Somaliland Minister of Health, Public Health Department, Dr. Habib Dahir Noor, announced the commencement of polio vaccination nationwide on March 26th. He mentioned that this campaign is important to the Somaliland people and urged parents to ensure their children benefit from this vaccination to prevent from this deadly disease. Dr. Habib Dahir Noor stated that Somaliland's health civil servants are ready to start the service all over the country on 26th to 29th of March to make sure every house gets this service. He also stressed that residents of the different regions of Somaliland should fully cooperate with the health civil servants. The Director General of Health Department of the Ministry of Health concluded his notice that this campaign will be ongoing for 3 days nationwide. A ceremony to mark the release of a new book was held at Golis University. The author is one of the students of that university. This ceremony had on attendees students of the university, parents, lecturers, and public figures. This ceremony was organized by Golis University students and lecturers. It was organized to introduce a newly released book authored by Nejma Farhan Mahmoud, a student of Golis University, particularly in the public health faculty. The book is entitled The Responsibility of Parents, Students, and Teachers. Nejma Farhan Mahmoud dedicated this book to every parent, student, and teacher on their way to better progress the nation. Nejma Farhan Mahmoud, speaking at the event, enlarged the advantage of this book and her inspirations toward the writing a book of this kind. She mentioned that she started the writing of this book on her high school years, expressing her joy of finally completing the book, regarding that she passed a very crucial stage of her educational journey and delight into helping everyone else benefit from her experience. Vice President of Golis University, Nim'an Abdi Ali, who concluded the event, congratulated Nejma on her great achievement and encouraged her to continue writing more books. You still tuned to the English news program of Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news program. And now for international headlines in detail. The leader of Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood, Mohammed Beidir, went on trial on Tuesday along with 682 others on charges including killings. It comes a day after the same court sentenced 529 Brotherhood members to death. Defense lawyers said they were boycotted Tuesday's session because they had no proper access to their client the previous day, and the court did not consider evidence given on their behalf. Human rights group said it was the biggest mass death sentence in Egypt's modern history. Hassan Isa, a local man, asked, so why hasn't Mubarak been given the death sentence? Why hasn't Habib al-Adli been given the death penalty? Why haven't any of the ministers in jail been given the death penalty so far? Is their lawyers very good and the lawyers for the 500 lousy? Or are the judges just different, each working according to the different laws? This is a farce. The mass imposition of the death penalty after trial rift with the procedural irregularities is in the breach of international human rights law. UN human rights spokesman Robert Colville said a mass trial of 529 people conducted over just 2 days cannot possibly have met even the most basic requirement for a fair trial, he said at a news briefing in Geneva. Some 398 of the defendants were tried in absentia, Colville said. Unable to inform father on missing flight MH370. Unable to inform father on missing flight MH370, Malaysia's Transport Minister Hishamuddin Hussein has nevertheless given a press conference with the Civil Aviation Director General Azharuddin Abdul Rahman and Malaysia Airlines CEO Ahmed Jawari Yahya. This followed yesterday's announcement by Prime Minister Najib Razak that satellite data analysis concluded the plane went down in the Indian Ocean west of Australia, 2,500 kilometers southwest of Perth. China's government wants access of that data. Most of the passengers were Chinese. MH370 was lost on March 8th, with 239 people on board heading from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Relatives of those who disappeared marched in protest to Malaysia's embassy in the Chinese capital, demanding truth after the emotional and no-sin wait for news about what happened. They accused the Malaysian government of deception. The surge is now its third week. The power source in the black box flight records is designed to last for 30 days. That's all the news we have for you tonight. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.